Spoken word poetry is the art of performance poetry. I tell people it involves creating poetry that doesn't just want to hit a paper. I tell people it's something it involves creating poetry that it demands if you heard out loud or witness it first. Now I can divide my spoken word journey into three steps. Step one was the moment I said I can. Step two was the moment I said I will continue. And step three began when I realized that I didn't have to write poems that were indignant if that's not what I wanted. Now I know that the number one goal to being cool is to seem unfixed, to never admit that anything scares you or impresses you or excites you. Somebody once told me that it's like walking through life like this. You protect yourself from all of the unexpected miseries or hurt that might show up. But I try to walk through life like this. And yes, that means catching all of those miseries and hurt, but it also means that when beautiful, amazing things just fall out of the sky, I am ready to catch them. I use spoken word to help my students rediscover what to fight their instincts to cool and fade, and instead actively pursue being engaged with what goes on around them, so that they can reinterpret and read something from it. It's not that I think that spoken word poetry is the ideal art form. I'm always trying to find the best way to tell each story. I write musicals, I make short films alongside my poems, but I teach spoken word poetry because it's accessible. Not everyone can read music or owns a camera, but everyone can communicate in some way, and everyone has stories that the rest of us can learn from. Plus, spoken word poetry allows for immediate connections. It's not uncommon for people to feel that they're alone or that nobody understands them, but spoken word teaches that if you have the ability to express yourself and the courage to present those stories and opinions, you will be rewarded with a room full of your peers or your community who will listen. And maybe even a giant girl in a hoodie will connect with what you share. And that is an amazing realization to have, especially when you're a person. Plus now, with YouTube, that connection's not even limited to the room we're in. I'm so lucky that there's this archive of performances that I can share with my students. It allows for even more opportunities for them to find a poet or a poem that they can connect to. It is tempting, once you figure this out, it is tempting that you keep writing the same poem or keep writing the same story over and over again. Once you figure it out, it will gain your plus. It's not enough to just teach that you can express yourself. You have to grow and explore and take risks and challenge yourself. And that is step three, infusing the work you're doing with the specific things that make you use, even though those things are always changing. Because step